1 hour, 3 minutes to go. In pre-qualifying practice, Mark Truex, the fastest Toyota out of Boston Hill, the quickest Chevrolet. Brad Keselowski is the fastest Ford in 7th. 38 drivers have been on track. Everybody in the penalty zone has been released. Kyle Busch, 13th quickest so far. 36.65 was his last lap. That was his fastest lap.
Boy, had a rough day at Pocono.
Last 3 races have been difficult days for the defending champ. Not so well. Pocono, the tracks where he has not won. But he'll get a second chance this year.
Yeah, he will. And the way he checked off those other 2 tracks earlier in the season and the roll that they were on, I thought he was going to get all 4 in a row. So, you know, that just goes to show you how humbling this sport can be.
I'm sure they would totally disagree, and they may be right, but make that little bit of a rule adjustment, and just doesn't seem to be quite as dominant as they were before that.
I thought they had a pretty good car last week at Pocono. You know, they had that great battle between he and Matt Kenseth and Chase Elliott there for the lead. And I thought at that point he had the best car, and then a lot of things changed.
Kevin Harvick down in turn 1 and 2, 215 into the corner, 180 in the center of the corner.
And I think where drivers are really going to be talking a lot. You see his hands right there. Really not wanting to turn in the corner. It looks a little loose. That's through turn 3 and 4. That's where the car's getting loose, is getting into turn 3. There's a transition when it's flat on the straightaway, and then it transitions into the banking. Now here's the front straightaway when we go into turn 1. That banking there is very gradual, picks up much earlier, and even there he's a little bit loose as he gets into the corner. We're going to see a lot of that this weekend with this package. Here's the transition going into 3. And right in this whole area, right in this area here, that's where the cars are unloaded. It's light. You can see the rubber starting to get darker as it lays into the racetrack down in here. That's where the cars actually load up into the banking.
That area where they get light and unloaded, that's where my foot would get light and unloaded too.
Well, that's where your hands get very light. So right along here, Ryan Blaney, you can see just not a lot of wheel input into the corners. You go through that transition, you just want to really wait till you know the car's loaded before you turn the wheel and get back into the throttle. But when you do, it's going to be a lot of throttle. And there used to be a spoiler back there.
There's a shadow back there.
One thing these drivers are not going to have a problem with is seeing out the back of the car and seeing who's behind them. Look how flat this is as he turns into turn 3. Oh, I mean, he's just being, oh, look at that. He even slid up to the outer groove.
Being real cautious.
I mean, that was an area that you had to be really careful with the old package, with the whole high downforce package. Now with so little downforce, these drivers are going to be thinking about that all the way down that back straightaway.
Well, let's hear from one. Jamie?
Well, Carl Edwards, they're already making the swap over now to qualifying trim, and on the radio, your crew chief said, we're right where we want to be. What exactly does that mean? What were you guys looking for?
Well, he's telling me on the stopwatch, our subway camera is pretty good. The package is pretty interesting. It reminds me of 10 years ago driving here. You know, drive down to turn 3, and it's pretty free down there. So, you know, I think once everybody figures this out a little bit, I don't know if that's going to be fast enough. I think everybody's going to pick up a little speed. We're going to go to qualifying trim, though, and that's going to be even more hair-raising. So, glad we're working up to it this way.
Any surprises for you as a driver to jump in and feel the difference in this package?
I was a little, I wouldn't say nervous, but I was, you know, kind of excited and maybe a little anxious to try it, because you never know. You don't know if you're going to drive down there and not be able to control it. It actually drove really well. So, you know, Goodyear did a good job, and I haven't run around other cars yet, but it seems like it's going to be great.
I can't wait to see him qualifying trim. See what you have here.
I would say when you combine excited and anxious, that qualifies as nervous.
It's going to be great.
Sure it is.